All right, you know what time it is. Live from the Bare Muscle Garage, it's time for Fit Crew. What do we got in store for you today? Let's go ahead and share this on screen. So today we're doing something interesting. We're doing an echo of a workout we did 2 weeks ago, except instead of doing it in interval format, today we're just doing straight up 5 rounds for time. So we're doing 5 rounds of 10 calories on the bike, 12 toes to bar, and 8 hang power cleans. And we may be looking at this thinking, I still don't got a bike. What's he want me to do? Don't worry, guys. As always, we're going to warm up really well, and we're going to go through all the options that will allow you to do this workout or your version of it right where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. But let's go ahead and start this general warm-up. Here we go. Let's get some arm circles going back, arm circles back. And as you know, my name is Coach Chris. I'm a level 3 CrossFit trainer, which means I've logged thousands of hours over many years, helping many people just like you do things they never thought possible through health and fitness. Let's move on to arms across the chest. Hug yourself, love yourself. One of the ways I've been privileged to help you guys do the impossible is through the On Track program. And when you get on track, you get access to the full program, a full week of workouts, 7 days a week if you want, and lots of different types of workouts that help you to work on all different aspects of your fitness. Let's move on to the wrist wave. And many of these workouts are full on-demand class with video, just like this. Others are some very interesting workouts that will help us to work on our form and get strong and help us to just slow down and work on technique. And others are just awesome workouts that we do every once in a while called benchmark workouts that really connect us to the bigger CrossFit community and help us to see how we are improving over time. Let's go ahead and move on to some high knees. High knees into chest, or if it works better, we can do some high elbows or both. And then beyond that, all of the workouts in the program, especially if you're On Track Unlimited, we get that sheet at the beginning of every week that lays out what we're doing for the whole week. And each workout has full warm-ups and cool downs and movement demo videos for each individual movement to help us to plan out our week and help us to prepare our minds and our bodies for what's to come. Let's go ahead now and move on to some calf raises. Up on the toe, back on the heel, up on the toe, back on the heel. Or we could do some wrist extensions or both. And so when you get on track, you get access to the full program, full accountability, and full community of our Fit Crew family around the world. And let's now move on to some jumping jacks or stepping jacks if we want low impact. And then, of course, getting on track makes you eligible to log points, earn badges, and really unlock the full power of this program. So if any of this sounds interesting to you, please click that link that's in this video, or feel free to message me directly for more details. Let's go ahead and take a break from this warm-up, guys, and we're going to move on to the activation phase, which is where we're going to do a couple different moves that are going to help us to get specifically ready for today's workout. So the first thing we're going to do is glute bridges. And let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 glute bridges for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then glute bridges are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in, and we're going to do 10 glute bridges together. And so a couple things to keep in mind. We are laying on our back. We are pulling the feet in super close to those hips, and we are squeezing those glutes, getting the hips higher and higher each time. And we want to think fast up, hold the top, slow on the way back down. And so good job on these glute bridges. Next, we're going to do some straight leg sit-ups, and let's go ahead and have Bird Dog demonstrate 2 straight leg sit-ups for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then those sit-ups are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 straight leg sit-ups together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We are laying on our back, got those arms out behind us, and we're swinging those arms, reaching toward the toes at the top, or as close as we can to it. Now, it could be that this is a very challenging core movement for us, in which case we could still warm up the core by doing some laying single leg raises. And let's go ahead and have Bird Dog demonstrate a couple single leg raises here. So we point the one toe, raise the one leg all the way up, and we can do 5 on one side before switching to do 5 on the other side. So good job here on these straight leg sit-ups or single leg raises, if that's what we choose to do. Next, we're going to do some V-ups, and let's go ahead and have Twin 1 demonstrate 2 V-ups for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, it's going to look very similar to those sit-ups, except now I'd like us to maybe get those legs a little wider, create even more range of motion, maybe get those palms flat on the ground if possible, or as close as we can to it. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 V-ups together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We are laying on the back, arms back, legs out in front of us. Then we're going to take a deep breath in, brace that core as we reach toward the toes. Now, if doing this with both legs kind of fires up that lower back, then we could do the single leg version like we see Bird Dog doing here, where we raise one leg and reach toward the toe with both hands. And we can either choose to alternate, or we can do all 5 straight on one side before switching. And so good job here on these single leg or double leg V-ups. And next, we're going to do some good mornings. Let's go ahead and have Deb demonstrate 2 good mornings for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then those good mornings are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 good mornings together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We are going to fold those arms across the chest, and then we're going to hinge by sending those hips back, get that chest to just about parallel with the ground. And then we are going to squeeze the glutes until we get all the way back up to a fully standing locked out position. And so good job here on these good mornings. Next, we're going to do some high knees, but we're actually going to do some high knee hip circles, meaning we're going to get those knees up and then boom, out to the side, up, out to the side, like that. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then we're going to get those arms up, then back down to the side, up, back down to the side, like that. So let's go ahead and do 10 reps here, 5 on each side. And so we're basically doing some hip circles here, getting those knees up past the hips, and then out to the side and back, which opens up those hip flexors, especially for all the biking or running that we're going to be doing today. And if we need some help with balance, if we need to perhaps hold on to a pole or a wall or something like that, that's something we can decide to do for safety as well. But good job here on these high knee hip circles. Next, we're going to do some reverse lunges, and let's go ahead and have Bird Dog demonstrate 2 reverse lunges for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the reverse lunge is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reverse lunges together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We're going to take a big step back and slightly to the side for stability until that back knee touches the ground or whatever we're using for knee protection. Notice how twin 1 has a bit of a mat there to protect the knees. Bird Dog has a pillow there. Now, it could be that getting that knee all the way to the ground is a bit of a challenge, in which case we may choose to do some step downs. And that would be if we have a step riser or a step ladder. We're actually going to be standing at the top and then alternating, stepping down, then stepping back up, but still keeping 1 foot up on the object, just like we see Deb doing here. And so we're alternating the step down leg. And so good job here on these reverse lunges or step downs, if that's what we're choosing to do. Next, what I'd like everyone to do is let's go ahead and grab a broomstick or a mop or a PVC pipe. Have you joined the PVC crew yet? We're waiting for you. Until then, any common household item super light like a broom or a mop is good enough for today. So with this broomstick in hand, we're going to do some deadlifts. And first, let's have twin 1 show us that hook grip. So thumb wrapped around, fingers over the thumb. And those hands are going to be close together today in the clean grip. And let's go ahead and see 2 deadlifts. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then those deadlifts are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 deadlifts together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We've got those feet close together underneath the hips. And at the start of the deadlift, we're gonna have those hips super low, but chest up, shoulders back. We're looking straight ahead, and we're gonna take a deep breath in to brace that core as we drive the ground away until we get to a fully standing, locked out position with those shoulders back at the top. And then, of course, we want to brace that core on the way back down as well. And so good job here on these deadlifts. And finally here in the activation phase, we're going to do some clean pulls. And let's go ahead and have twin 1 demonstrate 2 clean pulls for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then that clean pull is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 clean pulls together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We are starting the same exact way as that deadlift, except on this clean pull, we are now accentuating the speed past the knees. We're going to blast past the knees. And we're still not bending the arms whatsoever. We are just getting some speed with the glutes and the legs. And so we're going to, as soon as that bar reaches those knees, we're going to glute bridge and shrug and explode. And we're focusing, as always, on keeping it super close to the body, getting that speed past the knees with the power of the hips and legs. And so good job here on the clean pull. Well, that is it for the activation phase. Now we're going to move on to the movement prep, which is where we're going to practice specifically the 3 moves that we're doing in today's workout. The first move is going to be the bike, and we're talking specifically about an air bike. So if you happen to have something like a Rogue Echo bike or an Assault bike or any other type of exercise bike, what I'd like you to do is to hop on that bike and to do about a 1-minute test here. And that's going to help us to determine what's a good amount of calorie output for you to pick in the workout to scale accordingly. But most of us don't have these machines. We're the machines. We're going to choose a modification for the bike at home that's going to preserve the stimulus of getting that heart rate up. And it's not going to involve any mountain climbers and playing shoulder taps. Sorry, but we got something else in store for you today. We're going to be doing some shuttle runs without tapping the ground in between. Specifically, we're going to be doing 50-foot shuttle runs, which means 25 feet down and back. And let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 of these shuttle runs. So she's running down with Kirby to the 25-foot mark, turning around without tapping the ground. Boom, that was 1. Once again, turning around without tapping the ground today. And boom, that was 2. So every 50 feet, 25 feet down and back equals a shuttle run. Or if we don't have a 25-foot span of space, we can do these shuttle runs in place by doing sets of 20 high knees at a time. And let's go ahead and see 1 shuttle run in place. And she is pumping those arms, pumping those elbows. And after each set of 20, boom, there she goes onto her second one. She has changed direction to help her to keep track. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then each shuttle run is going to be a set of 20 arm raises. And we can keep track by either clapping those hands or using the finger counting method on those shuttle runs. So let's everyone join in and let's do 5 sets of shuttle runs. And so something to keep in mind, let's pick the version that's good for us in our circumstances. We've all got different joints and whatever we have, but maybe we can step a little bit outside our comfort zone today. You know, if we're used to doing the shuttle runs in place, we can either get those knees higher or we can try to mix doing some of the 25-foot shuttle runs down and back. But whatever the case, let's remember we're also not tapping the ground today because we just don't want that tap to get in the way of the stimulus of the intensity we're looking for. So we're just going down and back without tapping the ground today like we normally would on a shuttle run. And so good job here on these shuttle runs, no matter which version we choose to do. Next, we're going to do some toe to bar, and the toe to bar looks like this. So the toe to bar is a pretty high skill body weight movement that involves a pull-up bar. Most of us don't have a pull-up bar, so we're going to do an at-home modification for the toe to bar, which also serves as a good warm-up. So whether you have a pull-up bar or not, what I'd like us all to do right now is to grab that broomstick, and we're going to practice some toe to broom, which is a good warm-up before we even hop up to that bar if we have one. So let's look in as Twin One demonstrates 2 toe to broom for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the toe to broom is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 toe to broom together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We are laying on our back. We've got the broomstick behind us, toes out in front of us. We're going to take a deep breath in, brace that core as we reach toward those toes to tap with the broomstick. Now, it could be that the single leg version is better for us, just like we see Bird Dog doing here. And so she is reaching up, alternating legs, getting that toe to the broom, 1 toe at a time, in between the hands at the top. And so let's pick the version that's better for us, whether it's single leg or double leg, and reach as high as we can. But good job here on these toe to broom. And the third move that we're doing today is hang power cleans. And let's go ahead and look in as Twin One demonstrates 2 hang power cleans for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then those hang power cleans are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 hang power cleans together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We are starting from about the knee level, and we've got the chest up, shoulders back, and then we are popping, flipping those elbows, and we're receiving that bar in a sitting position. So we're jumping, then sitting to receive, but then we stand to finish. And we want to remember hips before arms. So we are popping that up with the power of the hips. Let's treat this broomstick like it's 200 pounds. And we're really popping those hips. And let's get those elbows even faster there, bird dog. We really want some fast elbows. As we're hitting that jump, we're hitting those elbows up and then standing to finish, getting those elbows nice and high at the top. And so good job here on these hang power cleans. Well, now it's ramp up time. If you've been earning badges and you'd like to add some weight to do either the scaled, intermediate, or RX weight, then let's start to gradually add some weight to these hang power cleans, doing about 3 to 5 practice reps at a time, adding a little bit of weight each time until we get to the weight that we want to use for the workout. And we have plenty of time to do at least 3 to 5 practice sets here before we start the clock. But if we have not been earning badges, or we're just getting back into this after a long time off, then please, let's not add any weight. That super light weight that we were just using in the warm-up is going to be more than enough for us today. Seriously. It's very important that we have the right form and consistency with all of our habits, as evidenced by earning that badge. Before we've earned the right to add or reintroduce intensity, such as by adding weight or going fast. And whether we're adding weight or not, let's pay close attention to the following checklist. Number 1. Please make sure your device is fully charged or plugged in so we can get through this whole workout without losing you. Number 2, let's grab some water. Let's take a sip. Let's make sure we got our water nearby so we can take a sip as needed all throughout the workout. Number 3, I'm going to give everyone a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. And that's how you can synchronize your timer with mine if you choose to use one. Number 4, music. Super important. Your music is way better than my music. I can guarantee you. But the great thing is, you don't have to listen to my music. You can blast your music as loud as you want, as long as you can still hear me helping you throughout the workout. And lastly, how are we keeping track of these rounds? This is a 5-round workout. It's going to be easy to lose track of where we are, who we are, what we're doing, what's my name even. So let's have some type of system in place to help us to keep track of where we are without getting lost. One of the best ways to do that is having the workout written down close by. So if you're a teacher's pet like Mighty Mouse, first to the screen, we've also got Bird Dog, and let's unite all of these teacher's pets we have over here. Let's take this teacher's pet picture. Here we go. Teacher's pet picture in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to bring the workout back on screen one more time, and then we'll get going. So in just about a minute, we're going to start this timer, and we're about to do this 5-round workout of 10 calories on the bike, 12 toes to bar, and 8 hang power cleans. Now, it could be that, hey, you know, in that 1-minute test, I was struggling to even get 10 calories on my bike. then that's fine. Whatever you just got on that 1 minute test, you can scale down. If it was 5 calories, if it was 7 calories that you just got in that 1 minute test, then you can do that. But most of us that are doing these shuttle runs, let's just do those 10 shuttle runs. Let's pick the version of the shuttle run that's better for us, whether we're doing the high knees in place or whether we're running down and back, or maybe we're doing a combination of both, whatever allows us to do so without too much discomfort and help us to get through those shuttle runs in no more than about a minute's time. And we've also got the toe bar. If we happen to have a pull-up bar and we'd like to scale that to doing hanging knee raises or straight leg raises, we can do that, especially if we're not connecting toe bars just yet. But most of us are doing these toes to broom, and whether you're doing the double leg or the single leg, we're doing 12 total reps. And then those hang power cleans. We're picking a weight that we can do all 8 in a row without putting that bar down. But if we haven't been earning badges, let's just keep that as a broomstick. We're still going to get a great workout. We need that consistency before we add intensity through loading. So your score is going to be the time it takes you to get through these 5 rounds of 10 shuttle runs with no tap on the ground, 12 toe to broom, and 8 hang power cleans. So if you are good to go, give me a thumbs up over here and we'll get this started. I'm going to give us a 10-second countdown. And then I'm going to highlight Bird Dog to get us going. So here we go, guys. 10 shuttle runs with no tap. 12 toes to broom. 8 hang power cleans. How long is it going to be? Let's find out. Starting in 10 seconds. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off. Bird Dog running down and back. That is 1 shuttle run. And we've got twin 1 as well. Let's remember, down and back counts as a shuttle run. So we're running the 25 feet down to the halfway mark and running all the way back to complete each shuttle run. We're doing 10 sets of these shuttle runs at the start of each round. And I love to see everyone challenging themselves in the right way, whether we're doing all the shuttle runs running down and back, or maybe we're mixing and matching. But we are all picking the version that's good for us. And for those of us on the bike, we're picking an amount of calories that we can push to get done in less than a minute. And it's better to pick a target from the beginning and stick with that calorie number throughout the workout than it is to just kind of decide and wing it like, I'll come down in calories later. That's why we do these tests. We don't guess, we assess before the workout. And that helps us to pick the right number, that helps us to have the right push and stimulus all throughout. And so we are deep into these shuttle runs here. Just about done, and then gonna be getting to the ground to do these toe to broom. We got Bird Dog reaching for that broom. We got twin 1 on that broom. And as previously mentioned, what we're doing today is something called an echo of a workout. So we've done something similar to this workout about 2 weeks before in interval format. In a 2-minute interval, we did the 12 toe to broom and the 8 hang power cleans. And then we just did as many shuttle runs as we could in the remaining time in the 2 minutes. And then we had about a 2-minute rest in between rounds. And today we're just powering straight through. And so this is going to require a little bit more strategy on our part to determine, hey, how should I pace these runs? The toe to broom and the hang power cleans, we want to definitely power through those. But whereas we would normally pace and go a little bit slower on the runs today, maybe we can go a little bit faster, because that's what we learned 2 weeks ago. We learned to run real fast, and there goes twin 1, finishing off the 8 unbroken hang power cleans, and then boom, going on to round 2. Bird Dog as well, finishing off the hang power cleans, going on to round 2. cheered on by the mascots. We love our mascots. And Deb finishing off round one. Mighty Mouse as well, finishing off round one. And so good work here, guys. We are off. And while, yes, we do want to pace these runs somewhat, we also want to have a little bit more race as well. We do want to think like, okay, can I just push a little bit harder? You know, it could be that when we did this interval workout a couple weeks ago, we were getting 10 shuttle runs each time. Or maybe we were getting slightly less, slightly more. But if we can kind of push to at least about 90% or 80% of that intensity that we had in the runs last week, that's what we're looking for. That should get us within the target window. And so not quite an all-out sprint on these runs, but as close as we can to it. And maybe we just kind of walk the last one before going into the toe to broom, which is what Twin One is doing here, taking a couple breaths and then boom, hitting that broom. And we got Deb on these runs. We got Mighty Mouse on the toe to broom in round two. And let's remember, we can mix and match options. And so we've got the double leg toe to broom, we've got the single leg toe to broom. And maybe we challenge ourselves a little bit with the double leg as much as we can, but maybe we go back to the single leg as needed. Twin One about to hit these hang power cleans. And notice how she establishes the hang position first. So she locks that deadlift, and now, boom, she's cycling that bar. So just one detail that we do want to pay attention to. So we're not cleaning that first rep straight from the ground. All 8 reps we are looking to be from the hang. So we establish that hang first, locking out that deadlift. Bird dog as well on these hang power cleans. Twin One making quick work of that. And that's exactly what we're looking for here, guys. Some unbroken sets of 8 on the hang power cleans. Bird dog just about finishing these off. And then boom, about to be moving on to round 3. On track to finish within the window. And there goes Deb. Finishing round 2, going into round 3. Mighty Mouse as well on round 3. So loving to see the intensity here, guys. Definitely we're learning from the interval format. When it's a straight up interval format, then we push a little bit harder than we normally would. And we see today, maybe I got some of that push that I was able to have from 2 weeks ago. And we're able to push just that little bit harder, which helps us to be just that much fitter. But we are getting through these, hitting these runs. Going on to these toe to bar, we got Mighty Mouse already on some toe to bar here. Twin One as well, about to hit these toe to broom. And Bird Dog moving as well onto these toe to broom. Love to see the sweat, love to see the push. And we're bracing the core every single rep, keeping those legs nice and straight. Reaching toward the toes, whether it's one leg or both legs at a time. And Mighty Mouse, boom, already done and moving on to the hang power cleans in this 3rd round. Coming from behind, she's actually sneaking. She probably didn't want me to blow up her spot because now we got Twin One who's definitely gonna push to regain that position. Locking out that bar and then boom, going for these cleans. going nice and smooth. All 8 reps unbroken. Boom, and then now moving on to round 4, straight into it. Bird dog finishing off round 3. Let's get faster elbows, bird dog, higher elbows, but faster through the middle. That was better. It's definitely a hip movement. You know, we're using those glutes and hamstrings, but the arms definitely come into play in terms of flipping those elbows. When we flip the elbows on the clean, it helps us to commit to that lift. But both Twin One and Mighty Mouse, frenemies of the century, getting through these runs. Bird dog as well, not far behind. Deb as well, not far behind. With just a couple more runs here before moving on to the toe to broom in round 4. Now, in a 5-round workout, we always mention how round 4 is the most important round. It's not quite the last round, but it's deep enough in the workout that if we're not careful, we can kind of lose some focus and lose some steam. We don't want that to happen. So let's not redline, let's not go all out just yet in this 4th round, but let's not slack off either. Let's hold on to this pace. Let's remember what we're doing. Let's stay focused. And we got Twin One on these toe to broom. Mighty Mouse joining in on these toe to broom. Bird dog almost done with the runs. And Deb just about joining in on these toe to broom. And then after the 12 toe to broom, of course, we're keeping that core nice and braced. Every single rep, deep breath in at the top, bracing that core through the middle. Twin One, getting up, getting to that bar, about to go to town on 8 unbroken cleans. Mighty Mouse joining in on these cleans. But love to see the push. Bird dog on the broom. Deb getting up, about to join in these cleans. And just like that, Twin One taking off on this last round. Mighty Mouse taking off on this last round. The sweat's really pouring now. And we got Bird dog finishing off some cleans here. Deb as well, finishing off round 4. But we are now in this last round. Let's go, guys. Let's breathe. Let's push. Let's do what we gotta do. But nice work here. Let's go. We are sprinting through these runs. We are leaving it all on the floor now. This is where we dig deep. After this round, there's nothing left, so let's just go for broke. Let's do what we gotta do. We are finishing off these runs. We got Mighty Mouse on these toe to broom. Twin One about to join in on some toe to broom. Bird dog and Deb finishing off some runs. Let's remember to breathe and brace. We got Mighty Mouse picking up that barbell for the last time, about to hit some cleans. Taking that breath before going to town. Boom. Twin One with a fast cycle rate. She could also catch up. Let's see what we got here, guys. Boom, cycling through. Who's gonna take it? And there goes Twin One, Mighty Mouse. Oh, it's a photo finish. It's almost too close to say. Woo, we'll let everyone else decide. Well, maybe we'll put it to a vote later. But hey, let's hear some cheers now, guys. We got Bird Dog about to hit these last cleans. Deb finishing off the last toe to broom. Let's hear it for Bird Dog. Fast hips, fast elbows. Get those elbows nice and high. And there goes Bird Dog. And let's cheer on Deb. Just a couple cleans left here. Almost there. Getting those elbows nice and high. And there goes Deb with the victory snatch at the end. Wow, full of energy. Man, loving the energy this season. And you guys definitely brought the heat. But now, opposite of heat is the cool, right? We got that cool down stretch, which is one of the most important parts of the program. This stretch helps us to fight soreness, increase flexibility, so we can come back day after day, staying consistent and committed. So the first stretch we're gonna do is the seal. And on the seal, we are laying face down like this, and we are pushing up, letting those hips sink into the ground. Or if that hurts those hands, we can do it off the elbow like this. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we are going to get those arms up and back like this. And while we're here, let's reflect on the workout. Let's do some high-low buffalo. And let's hear first from Twin One. What was your high-low buffalo for today?
Whew. So my high were the hang power cleans. The low was the V up, the toe to broom. And the buffalo was, I was able to push myself a little bit harder this time. I've been working on that. And slowly but surely I'm getting there.
I definitely noticed more of a push as well. Very happy to see. Always we want to see good movement before everything else, but moving well, moving faster, that's the recipe to greater fitness. Let's now move from the seal into the frog. Let's get those hips back, knees out to the side, sink into the frog like this. And while we're here, let's hear from Bird Dog. What was your high-low buffalo for today?
Well, I was surprised that the low was actually the shuttle runs. Right when you were saying that round 4 is when you might hit a wall, I started feeling that. And so I pushed through that wall. Thanks for the encouragement. But my high, that was my low. And my high was, and I felt good keeping it with the group today. This group was on fire with their motivation. And I think we all pushed each other to do good. That was also my buffalo. I love the group dynamic today. I wasn't expecting it to be that on fire, so I liked it.
This season has definitely brought the fire, and you were definitely a big part of that. So good job, Bird Dog, and I'm glad that we were able to push you, especially through that pivotal 4th round. It hits hard every time, but you just smashed right through it. Let's now move on to supine twist. We're gonna get one knee into the chest, twist, pull down with that opposite hand like this. And while we're here, let's hear from Mighty Mouse, but let's hear, hey, what do you think about the on-track sheets, Mighty Mouse? You know, we get these additional workouts, including some awesome workouts like Throwdown Tuesday. We get the amazing color coding. And what's your favorite aspect of that? And if we're doing this from the seated position, by the way, we're twisting to the right, holding on to whatever we need to.
I enjoy the on-track sheets because you get a week ahead of workouts, and then you also get the explanations, the weight requirements, and you also get the demo videos, and that's very helpful because if you need to see how a particular movement goes, or you need to want to practice. You won't be just thinking like, oh, how does the hang power clean go? You could just watch the video and then get that explanation that way. So I also like how we also have the orange WOD also, which is my favorite, because you get to practice one move and see your strength on it.
Yes, I love to see everyone hitting that orange WOD hard, practicing, most importantly, on good form, but then experimenting with some heavier weights and taking what we learned there back to the yellow WODs for increased fitness. And let's go ahead and hit supine twist on the other side now. So we got the other knee across the chest and we are pulling down like this. And while we're on this side, let's hear from Deb. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're twisting toward the left. But what do you like the most about these on-track sheets and being part of the on-track program?
Well, I do like that we get the sheets in advance. So that's a plus, because it allows me to see whether I'm going to do the water, what I'm going to do the water or not. Because usually the extra day, because you get an extra day and it is challenging, but I do like that, because then I get a partner and I'm like screaming, could somebody do this well with me? Because I know I'm not going to be able to do it by myself. Not that I can't, but I probably wouldn't. So I do like that. But I also like it because it challenges me to do it by myself, because I can take my own pace, and I can work on my form, opposed to working out with other people. So I like it for that reasons. Thanks, Coach.
And thank you, Deb. You basically just hit the nail on the head. We love the community, but we also love the flexibility to kind of just go at our own pace, stay in our own lane, and do what we got to do as well. And being on track gives us these options. Well, that's our WOD, that's our stretch, that's our high-low buffalo. You know what we need to do now. We need to hit this sweaty selfie, because does this count if we don't take that selfie? Let's flex on the camera, guys, and let's take this selfie. Sweaty selfie in 3, 2, 1. And crazy face. And let's put the fist in the middle for the cheer. On 3, 2 claps. Fit crew. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Fit crew.
Fit crew. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed this program, then please give this channel a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you very much, and see you next time.